ecosystem of a pond is small but complex. Many plants, animals, and microorganisms rely on these quiet and shallow bodies of water. The water surface provides a habitat for plants like water lilies and floating algae. Along the edges of the pond, the littoral zone is rich in vegetation, including cattails and reeds that provide shelter and breeding grounds for various species. Microorganisms and invertebrates, such as water beetles and dragonflies, thrive in this still water. The deeper limnitic zone houses many species of fish. The pond and surrounding terrestrial environment is utilized by reptiles and amphibians such as turtles and frogs, and birds such as ducks and cormorants. Even mammals may use the pond for drinking water. In this audio, you can hear ducks and frogs in the pond, as well as birds in the surrounding trees. All of these animals and more can be found inhabiting the pond. Indigenous perspectives are important to consider when looking at this ecosystem. One principle in particular is called two-eyed seeing. This concept refers to considering both indigenous and Western knowledge for the greatest benefit. An example of this may involve the water lily. The water lily is a symbol of resilience and interconnectedness. Indigenous teachings may recount the water lily's ability to balance on the pond's surface, drawing sustenance from both the earth below and the sunlight above. Scientifically, this reflects the adaptive nature of aquatic plants, using sunlight for photosynthesis while also rooted in the nutrient-rich sediment. This principle fosters respect for the land and a shared responsibility for the well-being of the pond. The ducks in the pond are social creatures, traveling in flocks for defense of the group. This increases the inclusive fitness of the species. As a K-selected species, the parents help their duckling to find food in the pond. The long grasses around the pond provide shelter for the ducks. The actual body of water provides food and water, such as aquatic plants, worms, fish, and frogs. Life at every trophic level is sustained by the pond. Aquatic plants use sunlight and CO2 from the air, as well as the water in the pond, to create oxygen and carbohydrates. This allows the plants to grow, providing a food source for the herbivores and omnivores of the pond. The various animal species in this ecosystem provide a food source for predators living in and around the pond. Dead animals are decomposed by the many microorganisms living in the pond. The pond's ecosystem is a cohesive example of life at every level, from primary production to predation, and from birth to death. So much can be learned from looking deeper into the huge variety of life that is sustained in such a small body of water.